It's always great to have your company on Wellness and Living, just like today. And we often like to talk about things that you can learn from and you can get better doing, and it can also improve your health. Talking about stress today. Stress is a real anomaly that can happen to everyone when we are overworked, when we worry about things that we cannot change at that particular time. Have you ever been stressed? What did you do? How did you handle it? If you work like many of us do and have to go to work on a daily basis and put in 8 to 10 to 12 to 14 hours every day, sometimes including the weekend, then you have to work on stress and get it out of your system. Welcome to Wellness and Living. My name is Thelma Obazi. As we often do, we would like to talk with you. We're coming out. Talk to us.
Stress occurs as a result of compilation of so many activities and workload over someone.
Anything that distracts somebody from normal activity is stress.
Several times I have been in stressful situations.
I have been in a stressful situation. I remember when I was in school finishing, there were lots of work that I had to attend to, and those things resulted to stress. And I remember that it had a toll on my health, and I needed medical attention because the stress was too much there.
Even right now, present, I'm experiencing it. I have my father's burial coming up.
There are levels of stress. There are mild stress. There are moderate stress. There are acute stress. So, like somebody is walking on the road, and all of a sudden, you did not plan for something. You hit another person's car with another person's car. You cannot sleep because Yoruba will call it bese. It will be disturbing you.
Each time I'm stressed, what I usually do is, I listen to good music. And once I listen to this kind of music, I get myself relaxed. Before long, the stress will just, ease away.
I took a rest, mentally and physically. I just switch off all those sources of stress.
What can be done to prevent stress is that the level of activities and workload that people engage in, people need to reduce it a lot. Because you discover that one man is doing the work of almost 3 or 4 people, and that results to excessive stress and labor over the person.
You need to talk to yourself to calm down. A lot of people are stressed up because they are anxious to do certain things. At the moment you're able to put yourself under check and then follow the process, discuss with people, you'll be able to control stress.
What I do each time I want to prevent stress is I like sitting out, hang out with friends, we gist, we talk, we share ideas, kill time with them. So before long, you just discover that, instead of staying alone and be stressful, the stress will just, gradually wave off.
Have a routine and stick to it. Whenever I'm going outside it, I know I'm going towards stress. So I just try to control everything I'm doing mentally, physically, and come back to a place where I can actually have my rest.
You just take things the way things are. No doubt about it. Things come that get you worried. Things you also try to relieve yourself from the stress. How do you relieve yourself from the stress? You can relieve yourself from the stress by doing the work you can do.
to observe your body so that when things are not working as usual, you will notice it and you will quickly do something about it. When you work yourself too much, when you go extra hours, when you are combining so many things and you want quality results, sometimes you may get stressed. But what do? You must relax, you must rest, you must unwind. Sometimes it may even necessitate that you take a week or a few days of work, of course, with the permission of your boss. The medical professional with us at NTA headquarters in Abuja. He talked to staff about stress.
When talking about stress, we have what we call acute stress and chronic stress. Acute stress is when the body is subjected to stress over a short period of time, maybe a few hours, a few minutes, and we refer to it as positive stress or good stress because it induces the fight or flight response in the human body. The fight or flight response is a basic human survival instinct to either fight in a situation or escape the situation. And when we have examples of acute stress is, for example, when you are late for work, or when you are stuck in traffic, or when you are approached by an enemy. That is when acute stress comes into play. And it helps you come out from that situation better because it improves cognitive function, it improves the blood circulation, it gets your heart pumping faster, it gets your muscles tensed up so that you can basically be a better human at that point in time. While chronic stress is when the body is subjected to stress over weeks, months, or even years. And examples of this is when someone is stuck in a bad marriage, when someone is stuck in a terrible job, for example, a job where the person has to work 24 hours every day for a week. That is chronic stress, and it's very bad stress because over a long period of time, after subjecting your body to such stress, you begin to develop certain ailments. For example, it also increases the risk for developing peptic ulcer diseases, the risk for developing hypertension, the risk for developing diabetes, and also the risk for developing several other infectious diseases because chronic stress lowers your immunity. And when we find ourselves stuck in a position of negative stress for a long period of time, the ideal thing to do is to remove whatever it is that is causing stress. However, we know that in our real world, most situations that are implicated in chronic stress are situations we can't easily get ourselves out of. For example, a bad marriage. You can't just stand up and walk out of a bad marriage. You can't just stand up and leave your job. I mean, some people do it, but ideally, you can't do that. So because of that, I usually ask my patients to find a coping mechanism. For example, breathing exercises, to find an activity they really, really enjoy and engage in those activities more often, to take vacations from their work whenever they can, and also to learn to communicate with their family members or their close family relations or friends and discuss whatever it is that's causing this stress, because any experience that is shared is better managed. Thirdly, and most importantly, they need to let their healthcare provider, their doctor, know about this stress and stress-related events in their lives so that he can assess the situation and know if he should refer the person to a psychologist or to just prescribe antidepressants for such a person. Yes, we can impact others negatively when we are stressed out because we know that stress impedes communication, proper communication between people, especially when you are the one stressed. And also, most people tend to lash out when they are stressed. Why? Because the emotions are all bottled up inside and eventually it finds a way to go off. And also, we have secondhand stress, where stress in one person indirectly affects another person in the same close environment with that person. For example, if you've been in a doctor's office where there's a child constantly crying, or in a bus where there's a child constantly crying, eventually you notice that the mother becomes agitated. And with time, the people around in that office or in the bus also become agitated. That is what we call secondhand stress. And when you are constantly stressed, without knowing it, you begin to affect the people around you. You begin to induce stress in those people as well. And it affects relationships between both you and your employer, or you and your husband or your life partner. Stress impedes the ability to feel empathy for another person. And with time, people begin to observe, to look at you as someone that is a self-centered person. I wouldn't advise anybody to go out there and just take medications on their own. Of course, there are medications available to help you manage stress better. However, these are not over-the-counter drugs. They are prescription drugs because they are subject to abuse by the populace. So it's always best to talk to your doctor about such stress and stress-related events. Medically, what we do to manage stress is we refer the person to a psychologist, okay, to help the person's mental state. Also, certain medications, such as antidepressants, can be administered to such a patient that is having stress-induced disorder or stress-induced depression, basically. We can also manage the after effects of stress. Chronic stress causes things like hypertension, diabetes, so we can manage those after effects of stress.
Experience has taught many of us that you need to unwind, you need to rest. Especially media workers. You know, we don't have regular hours. We work Monday to Sunday and then we start it all over again. And sometimes it could be 10 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours. You don't round up until the work wraps up. So then, how do we manage our stress?
Effective stress management breaks the hold stress has on you and your life, so you can be happier, healthier, and more productive. The ultimate goal is to live a fulfilling life. When you live with high levels of stress, you put your entire well-being at risk. Stress wreaks havoc on your emotional equilibrium as well as your physical health, narrowing your ability to think clearly, function effectively, and to enjoy a great life. The bills will not stop coming. You ought to pay them, or find someone who will, or get a better job that will. There will never be more hours in a day. 24 hours is what we got, and what we have to work with. And your job and family responsibilities will always be demanding. Do you realize that you often can exhibit a lot more self-control than you do sometimes? To live a balanced life, things do not have to be well mapped out with a winning strategy. Many will tell you there's no hard and fast rule or a winning formula. With understanding and support of those you love, you learn to balance things out with time for work, relationships, relaxation, and fun, and build your resilience to hold up under pressure and meet challenges head on. Because many of us will come to realize that it is not one size that fits all, or one particular method that works and refits stress triggers and enables manageability. We may have to experiment and discover what works best for many of us. Sometimes compromise, commitment, and sacrifice are essential components to managing productive lives and keeping stress at bay. Do well to identify the sources of stress in your life, realizing that they can change over time. Be flexible, but be more determined to promote good health of mind and body and chip away at anything that does not promote lasting positivity and a healthy lifestyle.
It is good to exercise and the benefits are enormous. When I'm not working out, I feel like I'm depriving myself of something. And every opportunity I get, I try to work out. Little matter how short, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. What about you? What exercise do you do? Do you know that brisk walking is an exercise? In fact, at a certain age, you ought to stop jogging or running or doing very strenuous things, except they are body part specific, and you are guided and guarded by a trained and certified fitness person.
Work schedule you have, there is a workload you are given, then you need to go to school to pick your children, coming home to arrange for their lunch. So all these are pressure in which we tend to have a confusion on how to, design a schedule. But it's not about designing schedule, it's looking at things that you cannot handle and those you have to delegate to others. Even from food, we can experience stress. When you eat heavily to bed, to wake up in the morning become difficult. The lack of social interaction, both in the family and in the working place, creates a lot of conflict because people tend to be moody. They can't breathe. They feel tired because every day I come, I do everyday routine work, always routine work. So there's no social setting in which the office should have a garden, recreational center, in which workers have a break to go and play table tennis, to have good time to play Ludo, and then have a good time for short break to have some meal outside. This increased productivities both in the house and productivity in the office. Even in sport, when you over work out, when you over exercise, you tend to be stressed because the muscles are in tension. There's what's called recovering time. Once you don't give your body to recover, then you're going to have a problem. If you tend to do Tai Chi, it helps in your flexibility. Apart from that, it improves your sleep. And at the same time, you are moody, you don't know what to do. You just go to your garden, go to your backyard. You're moody in the office, you see that you're going to have a problem with people. Just move around for your break time, go to a recreation center, and then practice Tai Chi. Now, I'm going to show you how you can do a Tai Chi for a beginner, even if you don't know, you've not seen Tai Chi before. Now, the first thing is to stand legs together and then open your left leg on your heel. Take a deep breath and raise your hand. From raising your hand, you slip your hand as if you want to see them. Just engage your heel and then massages and brushes your heel. At the same time, by rising, you're engaging your wrist. They're all massaging each other. Now from here, we make our hand this way. We tend to open our chest. Now from here, open this hand. Push the right hand forward, this one coming to the back. Open your chest. Push out. Breathe in. Push out. Breathe in. Now from here, you can form a ball. This is like a big ball. Now from here, you turn your waist and push your hand forward like you want to slap. Form a ball again. Engage your hip backward and forward. 2, 3. Now we do 3 to the other side. Form another ball. Right hand on top. turn your waist, slap with your left hand. We stand this way. They normally put their leg together, but I introduce this one, open your leg to stand like a human being. We bring our hand to our stomach, take a deep breath in, drop your hand. From here, we slow and go down. This stretches your hamstring muscle and balance. Now from here, you come, bring your hand to your stomach, breathe in, drop your hand, forward fold. You rise up, touch back. Last one, take a deep breath by putting your hand in your stomach, breathe out, drop your hand, and then float down. Rise up to your back arch. Leg together, hands there. Namaste. This is yoga. And now here, the muscle around here give us a lot of pressure and then leading to stress. So I keep on rolling my hand, tumbling here. When you do this, it allows blood to rush to this side. Apart from this external action, it helps the blood to massage yourself inside and then help you to relax. You can't relax by all yourself. You need to engage something in psychological concentration. And at the same time, your forehead, and then your whole head, and the neck, then the eye, front of the eye here. Then the same thing with your hand. So I'm going to give an example illustrating with my partner here. We have what's called head massage. Usually you're in the office, you got stressed up, you need to do head massage. Now I'm going to start with the head. For example, you are in the office and you have a colleague that can help you. First thing is to rub the oil. Then makes the person as your patient. Because one thing is for them to believe in you. You start with the fur, this place. Then the front of the eye, the meaty side. Then your navel, we call this nibbling. Now from here you come to the side. You can see I'm changing different fingers. Not like pressing the head too much. The skull is not as strong as you think about it. You need to just allow blood to distribute and allow the air she's breathing to distribute to the head. Now from here you come to the nose side. Then here. Then you nibble the side too at the same time. Then from here you go to the neck, back of the neck. You press little, not too hard. Depending on of her comfort or his comfort. Then we come to the main head. We press little, not too hard. Then we come to the shoulder and press. Repeating the oil, but without if it's outside, you can just add a little pressure to the body. From the shoulder to the upper spine. So this is a head massage, a half body. At the same time, you can also have a full body massage.
You know, small health challenges, when not properly managed, can grow to become big, can grow to have a negative impact on our existence, and they can become real life challenges. And by the time we realize it, it may be too late to manage or bring to a heel. So what do? Observe your body. Ignore some things that are negative distractions. Focus on the things that build you, that strengthen you, that have a positive impact, and that have lasting positivity. That way you can reduce stress, you can make your life more productive, and you can engage yourself in things that have the best impact, not just on you, but on everyone. We don't have to wrap up the communication now. We can continue to engage ourselves on our social media handle, Wellness and Living at Nigerian Television Authority. We'd love to see you there. For now, it's a wrap, but we'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.